Okay, take a look at what I'll be covering here in the next few minutes. What we've got going on during the overnight hours, what we're looking at is the possibility, well, not the likelihood really, this is going to be the worst of it in terms of tides, winds, downpours. Prepare as you can for this whole situation. It's the kind of thing where it's raining out already, but if you've got loose tree limbs or if you've got patio furniture, especially that kind of thing, or a trampoline, secure those so they don't go blowing through the neighbor's a picture window, all right? So, or worse. So again, just lock stuff down. It's not going to be a horrible storm, not the worst we've ever seen, but nonetheless, you'll be awakened quite likely by the wind and rainfall during the overnight hours. For Saturday, not as bad. Off and on windy and rainy. We'll see some minor to moderate tidal flooding at around 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It might be tough getting around. It'll be really tough getting around coming up overnight in terms of tides. We'll show you what's going on with everything, set things into motion. The low pressure area became closed this afternoon at around 2 o'clock. And you can see it's now a very definite low pressure area. And it's a tropical low pressure area. So it thus became Tropical Storm Ophelia. And it makes a difference in terms of what you expect out of it. If it's got lots of warm air in it, you can expect one thing. If it's got lots of cool air wrapped on into it, it becomes a subtropical storm or just a coastal storm lifting northward on through the region. And that's what it's going to be doing, lifting directly right on through the area. We are seeing some breakups in some of the rainfall into the region for right now, so it's nothing too terribly bad. In terms of tides, yesterday we thought that the tide tomorrow afternoon would be the worst, and it was kind of dubious of that. But now the forecast models are going during the overnight hours. That looks like it'll be the worst tide. So move your car, put your car in a place where it's not going to get flooded out if you live on a flood-prone street, that kind of thing coming up for the overnight hours. 6.4, 6.5 is major, so it'll be on the basically be on the high end of moderate tidal flooding coming on up. Now, high tide forecasts, these are low end major. For any of these that say major tidal flooding, it'll be on the low end of major tidal flooding. And some of these are really unoccupied areas. Kiptopeke, for example, is not really occupied, but it does give you an idea of what's going on. Kiptopeke is on the bay side, Windmill Point in the bay, Oregon Inlet, the sound side wind shifts, and so Saturday afternoon we could see some tidal flooding. This storm is now fully formed. I want to show you these spaghetti forecast models. They've got a good handle on where everything is, and most of them are poking it a little bit farther inland now than they were just a couple of hours ago. They've updated, and when I opened this up a couple of minutes ago, I went, whoa, wow, they've shifted things, and there's still some that are kind of crazy out there, not knowing what to do with it. But nonetheless, we want to see where this thing is going. There's still some wiggle room in terms of where this is going to be going exactly, and how strong it's going to be as well, especially by tomorrow morning. There's where things are. 65-mile-an-hour winds by 8 o'clock tonight. Right now, it's got 60-mile-an-hour winds. Take you into tomorrow morning at 8. This could become a 75-mile-an-hour minimal hurricane as it makes landfall. It doesn't make a huge difference whatsoever for us. What it means is that it's still stronger. It's going to move over the Gulf Stream. This has got it by 8 o'clock in the evening, pulling abreast of our area. There's where things are by 8 o'clock in the morning on Sunday. It's gone. Things are winding on down real nicely. Here's where it's going to be going. This one goes this forecast model is a little bit faster with things. It's going to be making landfall instead of 8 o'clock in the morning. It's got it about 2, 3 in the morning. There's where things are at 7 in the morning. And you can see this band of heavy rain right on through here. There could be anywhere between 2 inches of rain near the coastline up to about 4 or 5 inches of rain into some of our inland counties and on up toward the Richmond area, as basically what's the comma head of this storm lifts on northward, starts to fall apart toward the Washington and Baltimore areas. And by Sunday, again, it's moving on through. We're moving on through and moving on out, and we end up with some decent weather. Really, I think tomorrow is not even going to be a washout, and we'll see a 60% chance of rain in the morning, 40% chance in the afternoon. It'll be windiest overnight. It'll still be windy off and on during the day tomorrow. Breezy on Sunday. Temperatures over the next 7 days into the mid-70s each afternoon.